sum up what you saw out there this evening?
Well, disappointed with the result in the first half performance. We didn't start with the intent and the mentality that we wanted to. We were quite passive and weren't moving as a team as well as what we would like. So the second half was better. Started the second half well, and but just couldn't quite find the breakthrough in the final third of the pitch.
I mean, I guess you got that goal James Forrest denied by the combination of the keeper and the post. If you got that, we could be sitting here and having a very different conversation, but ultimately must have been frustrating overall. Yeah, because of course you want to take the advantage, but I've also been here before when we've drawn 0-0 in a qualification game against Rosenborg. They were a good side and we were going to there to have to qualify, and we did do. We played very well out there and won the game. So so there's no doubt we can go there and win. Of course you'd want to have taken an advantage with you, but it's still very much in the balance. The fans were pretty vocal at the end in their displeasure, the disappointment. Is that a justifiable reaction in your view? Well, listen, what I do know is over many years, sack the board normally means sack the manager. It's normally the manager that goes when that starts to be sung. But no, listen, I think I can only really look at the players that we have here and the performance. We've known for a long time what we've needed as a squad, so I don't want to go into that. I can only concentrate on what we have here. Of course, at the end of the game, we're having to shuffle things about to try and make it work and play players out of position. But the players' endeavour in the second half was really good. But at this level, it's more than that. So so hopefully we can show that. The boys are a great bunch of lads. They're really honest. They've started the season well. Defensively, have been strong. But tonight, offensively, we just couldn't show those moments of quality to break through.
Brendan, given that frustration in the stands, is that something you don't want to fester? What needs to happen on and off the field to make sure that doesn't fester and the frustration doesn't build?
Well, I think that we need to improve the squad. There's clarity around that for a long time, and so we see that, you know, and I think supporters see that. We certainly do in football. We need to improve. So and then from that, then you know, this is a performance club. This is a club that's to perform, and that starts on the field. And you do that with getting the very best players you possibly can to allow you to perform. So it's getting performance on the pitch, style and a type of football that excites supporters, and that's what this club is used to. So so we know that, and hopefully between now and the end of the window we can get that, and then that'll support us going through the rest of the season.
But you knew you had this game, Brendan. Does that add to the frustration that this was always, you know, potentially going to be a tough tie, whoever you got, and maybe being in a better place going into it?
Yeah, but I can't answer that because it's not my decision in the end. You know, I can prepare the team with the staff, and the players that are here have been fantastic over pre-season. We are all clear on where we need to improve, and for whatever reason we haven't been able to do that. So now we're in this position, and we have to accept it and not dwell on it, and try and come through it for Saturday and for Tuesday.
Do you feel you have enough to be able to do that then? There's enough game changers in that team to get you through to the Champions League phase? Yeah, well listen, whether I think it or not, we have to do it. And but I do believe that will be better than what we were in the first half. Second half, you see, we dominated and arrived into a lot of good areas, but just that final ball and a little bit of finesse and that little extra bit of quality that's needed, you know, as you come through the levels, that allows you to break teams down. So so that's something we'll look at and analyse and hopefully correct when we get out there.
You said, Brendan, that you need to accept it and move on. Should the fans accept it, considering the money that's at this club, the amount of times you've sat here in this position at this time of the year saying that you need players, and now the playoff tie hasn't gone the way you want? Should fans accept how the club's being run at this point?
Well, listen, that's not for me to answer. I can answer for the team and what we're doing. I think we showed last season the hint, like I've said before, on what we can do. But that will always be based around the level of players that you have, and I believe that with a level of player that we can really push forward. But if we don't have that for whatever reason, we have to try and find a way to win here and to qualify. And up until tonight, as I said, the team have been moving along well. First half, I wasn't happy with the first half at all, just slow and waiting on the game, and like I said, but we are the guys that can only change that future, and that responsibility now is with us to do that, and for me to find a way to get us through the next leg. It was a wee bit messy towards the end, but it's not the players' fault. We're playing players out of position and trying to work the team to try and stimulate a goal, and players maybe playing out of position a wee bit, but that's what we're at. And but of course, our job is always to entertain our supporters.
I appreciate it's probably early, but in terms of Alistair Johnson, it didn't look great. How is the player, and is there any sort of prognosis as to how bad it could be?
Yeah, I haven't spoken to the medical guys yet, but it looks a hamstring injury, which is disappointing. So, but yeah, I'll get more in the morning.
Brendan, obviously, Adam Eder come off at half time, kind of struggling at the first half, and maybe struggling at the start of the season as well. Is there work to be done for him to kind of rebuild his confidence, or what's the situation with Adam at the moment?
Yeah, there's no rocket science in it. It's all hard work, it's all preparation. That will obviously lead to confidence, and then you normally succeed then as a player from that. So yeah, I didn't quite go for him first half. I wanted a little bit more activity in and around the box, because I felt that we could get up there, and yeah, so yeah, Adam's a good boy. He's an honest boy. Hasn't quite started how he would have liked, but in games like these here, I can't afford to wait, and that's why I made the change at half time.
And just going back to kind of some of the kind of fan unrest and displeasure about the kind of activity in the transfer window. A lot of these questions that you rightly say you can't answer it yourself, but you're having to answer these questions on a weekly basis. Is it starting to get a point that it's not really fair to you having to answer these questions when it's probably for the guys who are being targeted by the fans at the moment?
Yeah, no, listen, I accept the responsibility as the manager of the club. I can't tell you anything which I would like to, but yeah, there's only so many ways I can dress up that we haven't got any players in. But I accept the responsibility to stand here, or sit here, sorry, and tell you where we're at. And no, listen. The privilege is mine to be here, and if it's my role to do that, then of course I will do that. So yeah, that's where we're at.
Again, Brendan, forgive me, because I do appreciate it's difficult for you to speak about it, but at the same time, is it fair to say that this is a situation that you feared, that you envisaged, that you maybe warned was going to be a possibility if things didn't happen as maybe you hoped they would?
Yeah, well, I think it was pretty clear. I think you don't need to have to look into the future too far. These games are tough games, and that you want to have your best players in and have players in as quick as you can to tackle these sort of situations. So yeah, but listen, it is what it is, and I just have to accept where it's at, and we shall, as I said, get ready now for Saturday, and then get ready for the long haul Sunday, and really try and get through on Tuesday.
In terms of next week, what's it going to take from your point of view? You're saying about the team being quite passive tonight at the start. What do you think it's going to take over in Almaty next week?
Well, I think the beauty is it's a one-off game now. Sometimes over two games, like they come and you see that they sit in, they defend quite well and get one or two little moments. For us, we weren't quite quick enough, but we now know it's a one-off game. We know we can win. We know we can win there, and we know we can play better.
for sure. That's especially, you know, on the first half showing. So I think we can absolutely. I think we can go out there and win, but we're just going to have to, as I said, not wait on the game. And I said to the players, you know, at half time, and a saying that I'd heard before: if you're going to miss the bus, make sure you run when you miss it. So don't be walking. And for us, whatever happens in this next game now, we have to go and give everything and make sure we're running. If it doesn't happen for us, we've given everything. And I thought we wasted 45 minutes tonight, which surprised me a little bit, because this up until that point of the season we've been good. So we have to correct that, and we start that on Saturday, and then get ourselves ready, and then it's a one-off game. And I've got every confidence that we can do that and win.
Brendan, if you do it next week, will that be one of your more satisfying results in the circumstances?
Yeah, I would say going into these sort of games, this is probably the lightest that we've been in certainly key areas of the pitch. You can see over the course of the season so far, we haven't given away a great deal. Defend it well, defend it strong. But of course, goals win games, and that's the area of the pitch where we've been short in. And it's more just in terms of freshness and energy and that bit of quality. You know, we're having to get midfield players out there and players playing 2 or 3 positions, and then it can come it's a little bit messy. But yeah, listen. We've started the season well. A wee bit of a blip tonight in terms of the result we wanted, but I've got every confidence we can go out there and win.
Brendan, you said yesterday about not having the control over, you know, the time scale of bringing players in. Is that something you'd like to have more control over?
Listen, I just want what's the best for Celtic. I don't necessarily need control. You know, if there's alignment and everything is aligned, and I want what's best for the football team. That's where my strengths are. And like I said, this is a performance club. This is where you need to perform. And for that, it's getting players in, getting the team prepared to the best level that you possibly can, and then going on journeys that can excite supporters and create great memories. You know, that's why I'm here, in order to do that. So it's not about control. I just want what's the best for Celtic.
Does it feel like that alignment is there at the moment?
Well, listen, at this moment in time, the focus is on the team. Focus is on us getting through into the group stages, and that's my only focus.